Hey, Prachi.
A very big hi to everyone. I hope everyone's doing good. We're already hitting close to 450 on Zoom, and we've already crossed the 2,500 mark across 4 Facebook pages. And the numbers are going high. Everyone is exciting. Everyone is excited. Awesome. Okay, Mumbai, Chandigarh, amazing. Okay, I think it's safe to start now. We're a little over 7 now. I think we can start. So very good evening to everyone and welcome to our webinar on career planning for high school students. Today we have as our guest Mr. Abhishek Gupta, who is an amazing personality. And today's webinar is going to be jam-packed with a lot of exciting things for you. The biggest thing that we're going to be addressing for everyone is going to be his eagle strategy to success. I'll repeat, his eagle strategy to success. And that's something that's been driving me crazy for the past couple of weeks. It's been driving a lot of people that I've been interacting with really crazy. And it's just something that I cannot, stand to hear about anymore because I just need to get those answers. So we're really excited to have him here, and it's taken us a lot of time, a lot of effort to finally have him on the panel as the one who gets to be interviewed. And so without further ado, I'm just going to hand it over to Divya for a quick introduction, and then we'll be on our way. Divya, over to you.
Certainly, Sagar. I'm too very excited. A very good evening to all of you. I'm Divya Khandelwar, founder of High School Moms, and I wish you all a very, very happy Independence Day. I want to thank each one of you, every one of you, from the bottom of my heart for being here with us tonight and taking out your precious time today. Trust me, this is one session you will not forget. High School Moms is a parent community of 14,000 plus mothers. We started this movement to empower each and every mother in this country and make them, to help them make a better future for their children. And today is truly a special day for another reason. We have been able to finally bring Mr. Abhishek Gupta on board. He will reveal all his secrets on success and career planning for high school students. Mr. Abhishek Gupta has been on forefront of career counseling in India, and it's high time we got hold of him and had him reveal his secrets to our viewers. So on that note, I request Sagar to welcome Mr. Abhishek Gupta.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you so much. Okay, to start off, let me introduce Mr. Abhishek Gupta, and trust me, it's going to take at least a minute or so with the introduction and his introduction is such, I couldn't even remember it. I had to write it down. Guys, Mr. Abhishek Gupta, our guest for this evening, is a BCom honors graduate from Delhi University. He did his master's in marketing from Pune University. He then went on to do a further master's from University of California, Los Angeles. After that, he ended up counseling over 30,000 students over the past decade, and he has conducted over 600 successful workshops. He is the Golden Star of Education Award 2018 from Honorable Member of Parliament Srimati Kiran Kher. He received the World Education Award for 2018 and 2019. He's the Times Education Icon Award for 2019. Founder of International Alliance of Counselors and Educators. He's an author, he's an entrepreneur, he's a career counselor, and he's a father to a teenager. My God, my throat's already dry. I need some water, trust me. Okay, awesome. Now, before we begin, let me give you another piece of news. Now, we're already 550, close to 600 strong in the Zoom. We've already crossed the 3,000 mark across Facebook, 4 Facebook pages. Today, we're going to be giving away a Google Home Mini at the end of this webinar. That's right, we're going to be giving away one Google Home Mini to the best question asked during this webinar. Yes, we're going to be giving away one Google Home Mini at the end of this webinar to the best question asked. So make sure you ask your questions, make sure you ask those smart questions. The one that gives us the best question is going to get a Google Home Mini. So you could be the lucky one. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, Mr. Abhishek Gupta, I hope you're here and I hope you can hear us. If you could just give us a quick yes.
Yes, Sagar, good evening. I'm
awesome. Good evening. Thank you. Now, we know how busy you are, and being one of India's best and busiest counselors, unfortunately for us, and you're one of the most sought after counselors. It's truly, it's really a blessing that we have you here with us today. And, I'm really going to make the best of this chance, and you have to promise me two things right now. I want you to promise me two things on behalf of all the people who are attending this webinar. One, you need to tell us what this Eagle strategy is, okay? And second, tell us all your secrets and don't hold back. Trust me, you have to tell us this Eagle strategy because it's really driving me crazy, and it's now getting to a point of frustration, okay? All these people want to know this. I want to know this. I think it's safe to say that the nation wants to know this, being Independence Day. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to hand it over to you to get started and start telling us all your secrets.
All right, Sagar. Good evening, everybody, and very happy Independence Day to all of you. Let me hear once from all of you in the chat, a YAY in the chat. Let me just hear from all of you. Is the chat enabled? Let me just hear.
The chat is enabled now. The chat is enabled, everyone.
A YAY in the chat from all of you. Let's see if you really want to hear me, or it's just Sagar and Divya who really just want to make me feel a little better. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, once more, I want to see a YAY in the caps lock because that's the only way your voice will reach my heart and my ears. A YAY in the caps lock. Don't write it in the small locks. Just shout it out. Super awesome. Okay. Now, okay, Sagar, you have actually put me on a back foot because sharing my Eagle strategy is something that I really was avoiding all these years because it's my 15 years of hard work. It's the work that I have compiled over 30,000 students, like you know, and it's taken a lot of effort to create this Eagle strategy. So I'm not too sure. It's only you want to know if the audience is also wanting to know. So hey guys, do you really want to know about the Eagle strategy? Type in a big yes, YES in the chat. Let's see if you really want to hear about the Eagle strategy. Super awesome. Okay, Eagle, 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 Eagle. Eagle is an awesome bird. When eagle spreads its wings, it's something to behold, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, when eagle spreads its wings, it's something to behold. Nearly 9 feet from tip to tip. When it spreads its wings, it was built for high places. It was built to soar. It was built to fly. It was built to withstand storms so that when the storms come and other birds run for shelter, the eagle runs into the storm and uses the storm to lift itself higher. It uses the storm to lift itself up so that it can fly above the storm. You are an eagle when you ran into the storm that you thought is going to kill you, but instead of killing you, the storm lifted you higher than you have ever been lifted before. It's a sure sign that you are an eagle. Can you all hear me tonight? Give me a big YY. Can you all hear me tonight? It spreads those wings and begins to fly. It can see. Eagle can see several miles even in the night. It can see its prey. It can see its opponent. Eagle is an awesome bird. Eagle knows it can't hook up and be friends with chicken. Chickens think eagle is beautiful, but it can't get up where eagles fly because its body is too fat and wings too short, and it can only flap the wings and fall back again on the ground. Some of you also have chickens around that will try and be there where you are, but your wings, if you are an eagle, but your wings will take you to a place where only eagles fly, and there it will be you because you are an eagle. Do you hear what I'm saying to you tonight? Give me a big yes again. Give me a big yes again. So don't be frustrated when you see the chickens. Remember, it's time you are an eagle and you need to be with the eagles and fly high. Eagles love on another level. Eagles live on another level. Eagles think on another level. Eagles function on another level. Eagles dream on another level. Eagles build on another level. Eagles fly on another level. Eagle is an awesome bird, ladies and gentlemen. And today, if I would not have told you about the eagle, you would not understand the passion that where I'm coming from. you would not understand why Eagle strategy is something that you need to employ for your child in building his or her career. Thank you, high school moms, for inviting me. And without spending too much time on talking about Eagle, because Eagle is important, I will straight dive into the strategy. Okay, so for me, Eagle is a success hack. It is a hack by which you are able to plan your career better. You are able to work smarter and not harder. For those people who wrote in the chat that why don't you come to the point? My answer to you is you want instant gratification every now and then. And this presentation is not meant for you because you are not going to bother me. You cannot bother me. This instant gratification attitude is not what is meant for eagles. Eagles are meant to fly high only when their wings are highly developed. So you're not going to bother me, ladies and gentlemen. So those of you who think instant gratification is required, just step out of this room. It is not going to make an inch of a difference to a person like me. Okay, how did this Eagle strategy help me, Sagar? Because this was very, very important. I applied this Eagle strategy for over 1.5 decades on myself. This was me. To all those kids out there, you can laugh it off. Give me those smileys. Give me those thumbs ups in the chat. I thought I will begin as a great horse rider. Then I thought I'll become a Shah Rukh Khan fan. I once thought that I will become great at bubblegums. And once I also played a banjara in an annual function in my school. And this is me right now. I receive awards as humbly I can accept as I can from the celebrities. I celebrate my success with the young program managers at University of California. I stand with the best of the principals. And today I'm talking to thousands and thousands of you. This is what has Eagle done to me.
Sorry to bother you, Abhishek. We are unable to see the slide, please.
Okay, I will show you the slide again. Can you see this slide?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible now.
Super. Okay, so what Eagle has done to me is shifted me from this to this. And this is what Eagle can do to you and your child. All right, so let's hear some facts about Eagle before we go into my strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Eagle build their nests on high cliffs. They do not build nests on the lower cliffs. Eagles fly alone and be with their own tribe. So you need to understand, to be successful at times you need to be alone, or at times you need to be with your own tribe. So you need to find eagles around you. They have their own vision and they have the strongest vision on the planet. They go high up to 15,000 feet for that big picture view. Our worry is that we want to know about a career for our child with a very narrow approach. It does not happen. You need to think bigger and broader to plan the career well. And I'll give you the great strategy. And I'm sure that you will ask me phenomenal questions after my strategy is done. They dive fast once they sight their prey. And they dive so fast that the prey does not even have time to react. And at times, they calculate it so well. So imagine a fish swimming at few hundred meters per minute kind of a speed. The fish is swimming and eagle dives with the planning that it knows that the fish will be ahead by 100 meters. So eagle dives in a manner and catches the fish and flies away. That's called planning, and that's the eagle strategy. Okay, my problem. And why did I come up with the eagle strategy, ladies and gentlemen? जब से हमारे बच्चे छोटे हैं, मेरा, आपका, किसी का भी, one question we have always asked a child, बड़े होके क्या बनोगे? And this is a phenomenal question because the kid, while growing up, even when he or she was an infant, the kid said, मैं डॉक्टर बनूंगा, साइंटिस्ट बनूंगा, पुलिस बनूंगा, IAS बनूंगा, मैं इंजीनियर बनूंगा. But the biggest worry is when the kids come into high school, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, they are still lost and they are still confused. Simply because there is poor planning. poor planning is the biggest reason of stress for a high school parent, for a parent like you and me, and for a high school student. And that's what I'm trying to solve for all the kids out there since last 15 years through my Eagle strategy. And that's what the Eagle is all about. E stands for explore yourself. You have to start exploring yourself. Now, some of the schools your kids are going to, they have school counselors. And these school counselors ask the child to write that psychometric test or the aptitude test. That is a good scientific way to explore yourself. But some of you who do not believe in that psychometric assessment, though it is one scientific tool to figure out what does your child like and what his or her interests are, but if you do not believe, at least what you can believe in is spending the desert time with your kid where you can help your child explore him or explore her. This is a stage where you sit with your child and start exploring various facets of his or her interest, the passions, the fears, the worries, strengths, weaknesses, and you do it by asking some very relevant questions. But these are not easy questions because remember, the most difficult answer to give is tell me something about yourself. You and me have failed multiple interviews in life because we could not answer that question really, really well. So that's the most difficult answer to give. And that's why these are difficult questions, not easy questions. But they are certainly very interesting because getting to know yourself is not only important for your career, but it is very, very important for your life. And hear me out. It's very important for your life. This stage should ideally take 2 to 3 minutes. What I'm trying to give you, Sagar, and to your audience, Divya, is my strategy that I've built over 15 years, tried and tested over 30,000 students. I have spoken about it over 500 career workshops, just that I have never spoken about it so candidly. That's what I'm trying to give you. And I'll not be able to give more than 20 minutes because of paucity of time, because I understand you also want to ask a lot of questions to me. And I have a great friend joining me from Luxembourg, Europe, who I will pull in at the right moment. So there is something really exciting for your audience that I've been able to package in these 45 minutes. Now, how do you explore yourself? How do you do that? I have a magic list of 40 questions, Divya, Sagar, and the audience. Unfortunately, I am sorry, I cannot give all 40 to them right now. I can only give 22 because rest 18 are really my secret recipe, and I cannot afford to give that. But definitely, if your audience is sitting with pen and paper, I will definitely talk about minimum 10 of them during the course of my presentation, if they make use of my notes well. And you guys have done it enough. You guys have heard Sagar saying that I've kept a Google Home Mini Award for the people who stay till the end. So that's phenomenal. That's really phenomenal. And I can see 700 people, Sagar, on the Zoom. I mean, come on, this is crazy. This is crazy. 700 people on the Zoom, and I also have access to your Facebook, and I can see about what? 4,200, Sagar, if I'm correct?
That's correct.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, how do you explore yourself? E is for exploring yourself. And it is very important for you to help your child explore yourself. And if kids are listening to me right now, kids, take my advice. Take my advice. Next 2 days, nothing is going to go wrong if you do not study. Next 2 days, nothing is going to go wrong if you do not play. Next 2 days, nothing is going to go wrong if you do not go on your Xbox or your mobiles. Spend just 2 days exploring yourself, and you will live a lifetime of success. 2 days. Some of the questions that I ask, I even talk about what kind of close friends do you have? Remember when I said eagles either fly alone or they fly with their own tribe. It's very, very important, Sagar, to understand that eagles fly with eagles and not with chickens, because chickens cannot fly that higher. So it's very important that we choose our friends well, and it is very, very critical for you to understand who are your friends. Put it down on paper, because there is no plan in the brain. If it is in the brain, it is not a plan, Sagar. Even today, I plan my day on a piece of paper every day. So you have to put it down on a paper. You have to count your friends. You have to count what do they do for you. You have to talk about, you have to actually mention on the paper, if your friend is supposed to talk about you behind your back, what will they say? If your teachers are supposed to talk about behind your back, what will they say? Do you love yourself? If you do, why do you love yourself? You have to name 3 friends and the qualities that you like in them. You have to be totally comfortable. If you are totally comfortable bragging about yourself, let's say you are given an opportunity that you are supposed to be there on the stage and talking about yourself, what will you talk about? Do you know something well enough that you can teach to others? Anything that you know. Sagar, I keep on telling people all around the world when I meet them that I spent about 10 years studying something which I'm not using in my life. I don't want your audience to do it, because world after COVID, Sagar, and world after new education policy, and I'll definitely like to talk about new education policy as well, is going to be very, very different world, Sagar. We are talking about our kids who are supposed to be successful for next 35 years for careers which do not even exist. So imagine how important it is to understand yourself. You can't make the mistake which Abhishek did. He studied something which he is not utilizing in his life. I am not using my BCom honors. I am not using my master's in marketing management. And I'm definitely not using my strategic management from University of California, Los Angeles. Why? Because I'm only using one strength of mine, and that is talking to all of you on the top of my vocal cords. So imagine if you are able to identify one strength of yourself, and it might not be right now. It can be about 3 months into the future, once you have worked on that strength, but something that you really like, ladies and gentlemen, something that your kids really, really like. What is your ideal self? What do you want to be? What is that your parents expect you to be? And what will it take you to be that ideal self? 2 things that you really want to tell your parents, but you are unable to tell it to them. Put it down on the paper. Put it down on the paper. That's how you explore yourself. What is that skill that you think you should really learn? COVID is giving you an amazing opportunity to learn something that you were not getting time to learn. What is that one skill that you really want to learn, and how long will it take for you to learn it? Put it down on paper. It has to be on the paper, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, if it is in the mind, it is not a plan. What is your best quality and why? What is your biggest weakness and why? What are you most stressed about and why? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Remember, eagle sits up on the high cliff because it wants to see miles and miles into the distance. So if you do not see yourself 10 years down the line, there is something definitely wrong with the plan. You have to start thinking first 10 years down the line and then connect the dots. Once you know where you want to be in 10 years, I am a person, and I keep on saying this, I'm a person who in last 15 years, Sagar and Divya, and all the people who are listening to me, has seen the world changing. The biggest asset my house had was a Bajaj Chetak scooter, which never started without a 45-degree angle. And from there to 2 BMWs and 2 more cars in my house, it's a different feel altogether. It's a different feel altogether, and I could not have done it had I not seen into the future, had I not put it down on the paper, what I really want to achieve. So imagine if you know what career you want to be 10 years down the line, and if it is on the paper, you will be sure about it. One thing you're most confident about, and 5 things which are there on your bucket list that you really want to do, 5 places that you want to travel, 5 skills that you want to learn, 5 things that you want to do before you kick the bucket, before you die. It has to be on the paper, and that's how you explore yourself. All right, before I go further, this is important, ladies and gentlemen, and Sagar, you can ask your team, because you told me to tell the people out there that there is a super awesome webinar that I am hosting, which is on careers and courses in liberal arts and sciences, and yes, it's free again for all the parents out there. The best thing I can tell you about Divya and high school moms is, I have been working with them for years. They do not charge parents. So it's a great webinar where I'm bringing 3 universities from 3 different parts of the world, Scotland, Canada, and India. And we will talk about some amazing careers for the future, some amazing courses for the future. The link should be there in your chat box. Click on that link and register. Be there. E, explore yourself. A is assess and analyze the gap. Now that you have explored yourself, now it is on the paper. You know where you stand and you know where you want to be. Since it is on the paper, you'll be able to visualize the gap. You will see a lot of things in black and white, which were not clear till now. Do you know? We generally say that a small pen is better than big memory. A small pen is better than big memory, so you really need to write it out, kids. For all the kids who are listening to me, you really need to write it out. Once you know about yourself, you start assessing the gap. Once you start assessing the gap, you will start seeing things in black and white. Things that you can do, things that you love to do, things that you cannot do, and you do not love to do. It's very important to be on the paper. I don't want you to struggle in a career which you do not enjoy. Happiness and money should go hand in hand. What is good, that money which cannot buy happiness for you? They say money can't buy happiness. Money definitely can buy a lot of things which can give you happiness. Though happiness is a state of mind, but happiness and money has to go hand in hand. And that's why analyzing and accessing the gap is very, very critical. Before you decide to get inside one of these doors, you really need to know what lies behind those doors. You don't want a career where you're sitting throughout your life on a computer and sitting and doing a clerical job like a donkey when you're actually a horse which is meant to run. When you're actually a horse which is meant to run faster, you don't want to spend your life on a PC throughout your life. Imagine there are two kinds of people in the world right now when COVID hit. One who said, COVID is definitely going to make me go down. My salary levels are going for a hit. My businesses have stopped. And imagine there are people like me who have made COVID into an opportunity, because eagles don't run from the storm. They get inside the storm and use the storm to fly higher. So I used COVID and made my presence to the entire country. There were a lot of chickens who started talking about me behind my back. But those are chickens. They are meant to talk on the ground. Eagles are meant to fly higher, and you will only be able to do it once you assess the gap. It is imperative to know what lies behind that door. This stage will again take 2 days. 4 days, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll be halfway through. Believe you me, you'll be halfway through, because the first 4 days are very, very critical. This stage will help you identify the jobs, the careers that will require the skills, the abilities, and the talents that you need to succeed in the career that you want to succeed. And I will definitely talk about careers. Be with me, be patient with me, because what I'm trying to give you is 30 minutes of my experience of last 15 years of 30,000 students. 30 minutes. Be with me. I'll definitely talk about a lot of careers. Once you are into this stage, you will realize कि थोड़ा है और थोड़े की ज़रूरत है. There'll be certain things that your kid will already have, and there'll be certain things that your kid needs to learn. My kid in COVID has done 11 different programs, 3 different certifications, and has used the COVID really, really well. And I'm very proud to say he's a level 5 Trinity drummer. He's a level 6 Trinity guitarist. He's a coder. He has learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, and R. And he is writing a book. And today we were fighting, then when should this book get published? Thoda hai, thode ki zarurat hai. And that you can only do once you have done your assessing the gap and analyzing the gap really, really well. How do you assess and analyze? Again, ask yourself some questions. Go out there, research the web. Talk to a counselor. Talk to your school counselor. Talk to somebody who can mentor you. Talk to the people in the area of your work. So if you know you want to become a career counselor like me, write an email to me. If you know you want to become a psychologist, talk to a psychologist. If you know you want to become a doctor, find out a doctor. All of us through our network can definitely find out people who are there in the career who can tell you, but they have to be eagles. They have to be the ones who are not jealous of you. They have to be the ones who are ready to fly with you. They have to be the ones who are ready to guide you, not misguide you. So talk to them, ask them what mistakes did they make, what did they require to become successful in their career, and you can learn it right now. Networking is the biggest skill. Job shadow, do some internships. People come to me and say, my kid is too young. He or she cannot do internship in grade 9 and 10. Definitely kids can do internships in grade 9 and 10. Internships are meant to be done in the high school. Take some education, get some certifications, acquire certain skills that are needed. And Sagar, I promise you, if you ask me relevant questions about relevant careers, I will even end up telling what kind of relevant certifications one child can take. But I'm not into instant gratification. So if people who are in a hurry, they can definitely leave Sagar. Understand the requirement of the colleges that will suit you and ideal for that education. Don't be in a rat race, people, because in a rat race, even if you win or if you lose, you'll still be a rat. So if you think, if that assessing and analyzing tells you you are not going to be into an IIT, then what good is preparing for an IIT? It is better to be a good economist or a good psychologist than being a bad engineer. Find that out for yourself. Not everybody who's successful is an engineer. I am definitely not an engineer, and I'm definitely into a career which is more liberal education and humanities. And tomorrow we're going to talk about amazing careers. And liberal education is not about humanities and arts. It's also about commerce and computer science and sciences. So be there tomorrow. You can possibly ask Sagar, your team, to put in the link about tomorrow's event again. And kids and parents who are interested can listen to 3 great universities tomorrow. G is the graded plan. Now, once you have analyzed and assessed the gap, now is the time that you want to know what skills you already have and what skills do you actually need to actually be into your dream career. What you need is a graded plan. A graded plan, guys, is different from that long-term plan. You need a long-term vision. You don't need a long-term plan right now, because a long-term plan can seem daunting, can seem very, very irritating, can be very boring, and I understand that. So break that long-term plan into 3 parts: the immediate plan, the medium-term plan, and a little more than medium-term plan. I call it 3 buckets. The low-hanging bucket, something that you can do and achieve within 12 to 36 weeks. I'm talking about within 12 to 36 weeks, something that you can achieve. Imagine if you can achieve something within 12 to 36 weeks. The middle bucket is, so the first bucket is within 12 weeks. The middle bucket is within 12 to 36 weeks. And the higher bucket is within 36 to 72 weeks. Break it up. What can you learn within 12 weeks? Some certifications, some courses, because it is important. It is important to award yourself with a certificate. It gives you a lot of confidence. And this graded plan is also about that profile building that people keep on asking me, Sagar. Profile building is really, really important even after new education policy. Profile building is very important because your child will be looked at by all the top-notch universities. And they will not look at just the academics now. Whether you talk about India, whether you talk about Canada, or whether you talk about US or Singapore or Hong Kong, they will look into the profile. So how do you build profile? I'll definitely also shed some light on it. But you definitely need to do some extracurriculars, some co-curriculars, some certifications. And for the parents who think that they cannot send their child abroad to study, there is one person sitting in front of you who would have never afforded. He still went. The only thing that you need to know is how you can reduce your expenditure on going abroad. And there are multiple ways that you can do, whereby you can not only build your profile, but get scholarship, but get tuition fee waiver, and reduce your cost of education. And do you know, even the best of the universities in India, Flame, Kriya, Ashoka, all of them have a scholarship. have a scholarship for the deserving candidate. You want to know about those scholarships? Come to me tomorrow and I'm going to definitely tell you. I'll definitely give you some insight today for those who are busy tomorrow and cannot come. But I'm going to definitely tell you. But you can definitely do something. There is something called earning tuition credits here in India. You can definitely earn tuition credits in India and you can trade them for money abroad. And for that, I got Vivek Bhandari from Scholarly. Vivek is joining us from Luxembourg, Europe. Vivek, if you're there sitting online, I want you to come in for quick 5-7 minutes, Vivek, and answer a couple of questions for me so that people understand that if I am not believable, at least a person from you who has made it big and who is there inside Europe, doing it really well and making cost of education come really down for the kids going abroad. How do you do that? So,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, hi Vivek, how are you? Good to
Very
have
good.
you.
Very good. So, first of all, thanks a lot to High School Moms and Sagar and Divya for having me on the show. Abhishek, good to talk to you and great to talk about this. I think my video is not on, so you might have to switch that.
Sagar, if you can give the host rights, please.
Abhishek, you would have to do that since you're the host. Could you
Let me just do that. Okay. Vivek, you are the co-host now.
Thank you. One moment. Okay.
Wow.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. A very happy Independence Day to everyone.
How are you celebrating Independence Day, Vivek, in Europe?
Well, Abhishek, we follow the traffic or we follow the news in India, and we get all the WhatsApp groups and all the news from friends and family, and follow that and celebrate the Independence Day, believing although if we are not there in person, we are still there in spirit and we enjoy it.
Very good. Awesome. Happy Independence Day to you, Vivek. Without taking much time, there are about 3,500 people on the Facebook and almost 700 people. It keeps on shifting between 700, 710. Internet issues maybe. They are listening to you.
Great.
Vivek, I understand, and I keep on telling to all the thousands of students I counsel every year that earn some college credits, spend money in INR sitting here in India, and you would not have to spend money in dollars when you're there in US or Canada or Singapore or anywhere in the world you are. What is this college credit all about, and how a high school student in grade 10 and 11 and 12 can earn them?
Sure. So Abhishek, let me start with the example. So if you're studying in India, let's say you're studying at Delhi University or you're studying at Mumbai University and you've completed your first year and you want to go to, for some reason, you have to transfer to Calcutta or Bangalore, there is no provision for students to, for universities to recognize incomplete degrees of other universities. So you have to complete your education in that particular university, and it's only the completed degree that is recognized by the other university. Now, in the US, on other hand, almost 35% of the students, they change their university at least once during the course of 4 years. It's a huge number. More than a third of the population changes their university once in the course of 4 years. And the reason this is possible is because of transferable college credits. So in a 4-year undergraduate course, you typically do 120 credits. That means you typically do 30 to 40 courses. Some courses might be for 3 credits. Some courses are for 4 credits, but you do that over a period of 4 years. Now, if you study from an accredited university and you do a course there, you get a transcript. So you might have done a calculus course, or you might have done a physics course, or you might have done a maths course. In case you decide to transfer to a different university and you have the transcript from an accredited college or a university, those credits or those courses are recognized by other universities across the US. So to your point, Abhishek, that's what the credit courses are. And in terms of doing some courses while you're in India, there has been an option of 80 credits for a long time. But recently, in fact, as Scholarly, we have started working with universities to bring those courses, college courses, to students directly in the comfort and safety of their home.
Wow.
So as a student,
so you're telling me that I can, so you're telling me, sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
So you're telling me that I can earn some college credit sitting here in India, and I can take the college, the credit waiver when I'm there in US and I don't have to pay there.
You are absolutely right. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Vivek, you and me have been knowing each other for years, and you know, and I know that we have worked with thousands and thousands of students over the years, help them get into the best of the universities. Help me as a friend and consider these 3,500 people listening to you right now. That's the power of high school moms that Divya was telling me about, and I know it about because I've hosted a lot of events for them, and it's for the first time that I'm going to be questioned today. So I thought, why will it only be me? Let it be you as well, being a friend. So help me understand, how do they help? How do they help? Like in simple words, 2 sentences,
Sure.
Vivek, how do they help?
One, if you're a student looking for admission to a dream university, you can show your focus and you can show your achievement. You can differentiate your profile compared to your peers. You have done a full-term course with a college. You could, if you do well in the course, you would get a good grade. And you could also get a recommendation letter from a professor. You could work on a research paper along with that professor as a part of the course. That's one. And if you have already completed your grade 12, and if you have not received admission to the college of your choice, instead of just letting that be a gap year, you could earn some credits so that next year when you apply, you improve your prospects. And also you don't waste the whole semester or the whole year. If you go with 4 or 5 courses done, you could be shaving off 6 months or 1 year from the overall duration of your course.
Right. Vivek, quickly, what is Scholarly doing to help this process?
So Abhishek, our skill set is in broadcasting. So we have tied up with the universities in the US and we are setting up studios on the college campus. So the universities, they provide the professors, they provide the curriculum, and we provide the transmission. We broadcast those classes to students across the globe. The first set of classes took place in July, August. They got over last week. We got fantastic feedback from both the students and the professors. And the next set of classes is going to start in September to November. So what we are doing is we are acting as a platform between the universities and the students and enabling students to build their profiles or earn these credits from the comfort and safety of their home.
Right. And Vivek, just for the understanding, you're going to deliver this from the, I mean, you are based out of Europe. What is the kind of price point? Because the parents sitting out here, some of them can definitely afford Scholarly. Some of them might find it difficult to afford Scholarly. But is Scholarly reasonable enough that there is a substantial difference between the price point that you are charging versus the price point that university will charge? Will the parents will really be able to save money? Please tell me that.
Sure. So at this point of time, these courses are being offered at a price point of $1,500 per course. Each of the courses is for 4 credits. So the price per credit comes to less than $400 per credit.
Which is much lesser than an American or a Canadian university, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about a year, you're talking about 30 credits in a year. And depending on where you go to study and what kind of scholarship you get there, you would still be paying close to maybe $1,000 or maybe more per credit. And then if you load it up with all the cost of living and the cost of transport, it is way more expensive. But Abhishek, also, so there is one, which is the price comparison, in which I think we do really well. But even apart from the price comparison, if you earn those credits and you differentiate your profile, you could get into a better university because you're able to differentiate and show focus. Also,
definitely
you could probably get a better scholarship opportunity.
Thank you, Vivek. That's my next point, which I'm going to talk about. Thank you so very much for joining in from Europe. Wonderful to have you. You can safely stop your video and your mic. I will take it over from here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Vivek Bhandari from Scholarly. Now, before I go further and start taking your questions, and I can see a lot of questions, Sagar, please tell your audience that I'm going to answer all of them about careers, about new education policy. The next, Sagar, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, I can.
Can you see it now? Can you see it
now? Yes,
it's
coming up. Yeah, it took a couple of seconds. It's coming up. Yes.
Okay. Is it there?
Yeah, it's there. It's not in a slideshow format, but it's there. It's in a normal preview format.
How about it now?
Yep, I can see it. I think it might just take a couple of seconds for some people, but it'll pop up. Yeah.
Awesome. So we talked about E, A, and G. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the LEAP. L is for leap, and leap is for leap of faith. You know, the biggest problem with your child and my child and you and me is we overanalyze. And overanalysis does nothing but leads to paralysis. What you need to do is 2 days for the E, explore yourself. 2 days for assessing and analyzing the gap. Possibly a couple of days for creating the grade up plan. 6 days and you will be ready. Sagar, they will be ready to jump in. The biggest problem is this instant gratification. The biggest problem is कि मुझे अभी कोई बता दे कि आज मेरा क्या career है. ऐसे नहीं होता है सागर. I also take 3 meetings with my kids before I give them a career. 3 long meetings with the kids who come to me before I give them a career, and that's why you call me a Times Education icon. So ऐसा नहीं होता है कि over the span of a click of a finger or a snap of a finger, you will be able to come up with a career. It will take 6 days, but imagine if 6 days you know what you want to be. Imagine in 6 days you know what course you want to study. Imagine in 6 days you know what college you want to go. Imagine in 6 days you know what certifications, what extra profile you need to build. And like Vivek said, profile is very, very critical. Build your profile, guys. People who think that sirf board ke exams important hai, national education policy is a big slap on their faces. And Sagar, I'm being very harsh. It's a big slap on the faces of those parents who thought only education is important, because new education policy clearly redefines the game. It redefines the rule. It says, अगर आपके बच्चे को थिएटर अच्छा लगता है, तो वो फिजिक्स के साथ थिएटर पढ़ सकता है और उसको 100 में से नंबर मिलेंगे. अगर मुझे पता होता सागर कि मेरे टाइम में कोई मुझे बोलने के नंबर दे सकता था, I would have definitely taken debating as a subject, because I would have known that I am going to earn money because of my talking skills. And I don't understand why these 700 people who had joined in cannot understand that simple thing. Leap is also about creating a plan where you create a profile trajectory. Profile is built into 4 tiers. Like Vivek said, scholarly is also a great way of building profile. Not only reducing your tuition fee, not only reducing your cost of education. AP is a great way. AP exams happen in India. They are a great way to build your profile and reduce your tuition fee. Profile can get you a lot of scholarship, guys. Lot of scholarship. It was the profile which got me scholarships. It is the profile which gets a lot of kids of who I mentor and counsel get scholarships. So profile is very, very critical. Profile is in 4 tiers. Very important to understand. Tier 1 is the lowest, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. Again, very difficult to explain. Maybe if you ask me certain questions about profile, Sagar, I'll definitely want to explain tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. But profile is very, very critical. You can only start building profile once you have done your E, A, and G really, really well. Once you have done that well, that's the time that you leap. Don't jump into anything. Don't just pick up any course. Your course has to be very closely thought out. Don't spend that money. For kids who spend money and do not finish it, please understand it is not your parents' money. It is your money. It was there for you today. It will be there for you tomorrow. It will be there for you day after. If you do not waste it today, it will still be there for you, because no parent gives it in charity. No parent. It is there for you. So spend your money wisely, guys. Also, leap is about reducing effort. Do you see the eagle? Eagle does not flap its wings time to time because it consumes energy. It does not flap the wing. It flaps the wings once, it uses the wind and glides out. It glides. It reduces the effort. It's a 9 feet from tip to tip. If it starts flapping every now and then, it will get tired and eagle will not remain an eagle. So it reduces your effort. There is an exam called SAT. My problem is, Sagar, SAT is accepted in 36 universities in India, and I don't understand why people think that it is still accepted in US when it is the SAT which can get you into best of the colleges in UK, in Canada, in Singapore, and now in India. Now in India, they need to understand. I keep on bringing so many career counselors to talk to me, right? And they also say, the problem is, parents, you all see the website of University of British Columbia or University of Toronto or any other university, and you think they only need IELTS. they only need an English assessment and your child can get into. It's not true. These universities can be test agnostic, but they are not test blind. If your child writes the SAT, they will definitely give the weightage to the child. So please ensure that your child writes the SAT in grade 10, if possible. Or if you are way past grade 10, then in grade 11. And if you have still not done it in grade 11, you do it in grade 12, but you do it. And if you want to do that, I'll tell you the way to do that as well. I'll definitely tell you a way to do that. But one SAT can save you from writing a lot of exams. You would not have to write Ashoka, Flame, Kriya, OP Jindal. There are 36 universities. Go to College Board's website, which conducts the SAT, and you will understand that. Please make your child reduce the effort, because results are more important, effort is not. So it is not about hard work. It is about smart work that produces result. And that is what will bring me to the E, Sagar. And that's where I'll be done. And I'll open all the questions that you want to ask me. E is for being efficacious. It's a Latin word driven from efficure. It clearly means that producing a result is important. Doing efforts are not. We keep on saying that we are working hard. We are working hard. Mama, I'm working hard. Boss, I'm working hard. None of that matters till the time it speaks in results. And that's why I told you, planning short-term is important. Vision long-term is important as long as it is on the paper. Both of them on the paper. Plan short-term. Get yourself certain certificates. Get yourself certain awards. Get yourself certain certifications. Some courses. Short-term. Within 12 weeks. Within 4 months. And see the difference. Your own friends, guys, kids, if you're listening to me, your own friends will start valuing you. So don't jump into career planning tonight. Jump into career planning after 6 days, after you have done the E, the A, the G, the L, and then you also know what are those activities which will produce the result and what are those activities which are not critical. Remember, eagle does not eat a dead prey. There are a lot of dead preys in the wild. Eagle does not eat a dead meat. Eagle eats fresh. So eagle knows what to hunt. Eagle sits up there and first plans in its brain how much time, what is the speed, what is the diving angle will be required for me to pluck that fish out of the water. And that's when eagle dives. So once you have done your E, the A, the G, the L, you will be able to do the E well, which is about producing the result. So when all of you think that getting into a great career can happen tonight, somebody will wave that magic wand and tell me what is the best career for me. Believe you me, it ain't happening. It ain't happening even after I have answered all of your questions. Even after 1 hour of the talk going on, Sagar, I can still see way above 650. It is close to 700 still now. People are hanging into the Zoom. So that means you guys are resonating with me. That means you guys can listen to me and understand me. We have to make our kids efficacious, not a hard worker. I don't want my child to study for 14 hours a day. I want my child to study 2 hours a day because I know my child cannot sit down and study for 14 hours a day. There is one thing, guys, and this is for all the kids listening to me and parents. If your kids are not sitting with you, make them sit with you to listen to this. This is one thing that I want to tell you. There is one thing that all of us have. Whether you are rich or you're poor, whether you are in India or in America, whether you are in Nigeria or in Uganda, there is one thing that all of us have, and that's 24 hours. A rich can have more money than you. A poor can have less money than you. But all of us have those 24 hours, and time is also money. And this money can only be spent with a plan. So every minute which is going into this presentation, you are spending to learn. Every minute you spend time watching Instagram, you are spending for gratification. Every minute you spend killing time, you are not doing anything for yourself. It is your own money. Time is the money that all of us have as constant, and all of us have it as equal. No rich, no poor, no developed country, no underdeveloped country. 24 hours, kids, make use of it. But after doing your E, your A, your G, your L, and your E really well, you cannot make your body by going to the gym and working out for 24 hours. You will collapse. There was this article yesterday and maybe today in Times of India, Sagar, a kid got admitted into an ICU because the kid did exercises in a gym for 10 hours. It's not about doing 10 hours. It's about doing 1 hour for 10 months. And that's how you build muscles. That's how you get that muscle mass. Same is the case with brain. You have to feed brain content, a little bit of content every day. You cannot read a complete book. I haven't read a book, Sagar, since last 2 years. But every day I spend 10 minutes reading a summary of a book. And there is a great app. If you want my cheat codes, I'll definitely give you. Ask me the relevant questions. I'll tell you the app that I use for me and my child. And every 90 days, both of us have actually completed 90 books. And that's how the content comes from talking. You know, the content needs to be fed. So that's very important. Now, where you can start right now, either you can reach out to me and my team before I take your questions, or you can find out your school counselor and go to the school counselor, or you can find out your mentor, your chachaji, your tayaji, your mamaji, your bhaiya, anybody who can be a career counselor to you. Go there, talk to them, do your A, your A, E, your A, your G, your L, and E well, but put it on the paper. That's the first thing you can do. Second, thousands of kids come to me, Sagar. I'm also associated with Princeton Review, and they do this fabulous online SAT prep. They can definitely come to me. These parents and the kids can definitely call up at that number and talk about SAT and how does it help. It will certainly reduce the effort. And I'm again telling you and reiterating with all my experience backing it up, the best time to write the SAT is grade 10. The second best time to write the SAT is grade 11. And the last time to write the SAT is grade 12, because after that it is of no use. And SAT is not only for US, it can help your child get into the best of the universities in Canada and in India. Make your child write the SAT, reduce effort, produce more result, be efficacious. Now, 3 things which high school moms asked me to do, Sagar, to tell everybody before I take questions. Join the High School Moms Facebook group. It is only for mothers. Join High School Moms Facebook page. It is for fathers and the students. Follow High School Moms on Instagram at highschoolmoms.community. They keep on doing these wonderful events. They were behind my life. I host a lot of events for them. Tomorrow also I'm hosting one event for them where you have to be there listening to the universities. Tomorrow I will not be talking. I don't want to bore you. Tomorrow I will make you listen from the universities about the careers and the courses. So you've got to be there. Register it. 1.5 hours will make you learn a lot. These webinars are for your learning. It is not costing you anything but time. Either which ways you're wasting your time. And it's a Sunday. Don't waste it. Register for the webinar tomorrow. Learn to say no to the things and the people that do not align with your objectives, with your goals. Eagles don't eat a dead prey. So don't do any activities or extracurriculars which do not align with your end goal, the 10-year goal that I'm talking about. Do not do anything. Don't waste time. Put it down on paper and do something that will resonate with you. I don't want you to make the same mistake which I did by studying 10 years and still doing something which is way different from my education. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. I am there on abhishekgupta.coach. That's my email ID. And that's the number that you can reach out if you have any questions. 9910225520. I'll repeat 9910225520. That's it from my side, Sagar. Just before I take the questions, this is what I believe in. This is the summary of my Eagle strategy. Success is never by an accident. It was not an accident for me. It is always as a result of commitment to intelligent planning, focus on the result-oriented activities. Eagle sits for a long time, Sagar, plans the plunge, focuses on the prey, and still continues to fly higher. That's the Eagle strategy. Open to all the questions that you want to ask, Sagar.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. And the chat is filled with about 150 questions at this time. Well, I think people really took it quite literally when I said that do share all your questions, and it's going up. It's close to now 170. We did pick up a few questions that we
You can
have.
ask me some, Sagar, and then I'll
So-
definitely, if you allow me, I'll definitely like to take some questions. I can see questions from Shivani, Shrime, Neha, and these are some very important questions, and I would definitely want to answer.
Absolutely. We have a couple of them shortlisted, and once we get through those, then we can get through a couple of more. So Soumya has asked one question where she said that I'm a student, and I thought that the SAT was mandatory for universities, but everyone seems to be saying different things. What is the reality? What is actually happening? How do we go about it? Is the SAT still needed?
Sorry, your voice broke, Sagar. Can you just repeat the question again?
I'll just repeat that. Yeah. So the question is that there's a student and she wants to know if the SAT is still mandatory for universities because everyone is saying different things. So what's the reality and how do we go about it?
So like I said, Sagar, the question is very, very relevant. A lot of universities have said that SAT is not mandatory, especially during the COVID year, because the attempt in the month of May, June, and now August also seems to be getting cancelled. But we need to understand, in next couple of months, COVID will certainly settle down. SAT will definitely happen in the month of October, November, and December. Like I said, universities are saying it is not mandatory. They are not saying they will not value it. Now, when you want to apply to the universities, you definitely want to go to the best of the universities. And like Vivek said from Scholarly, I can get into a great university if I have a reasonable SAT score and a great profile. But if I have not worked upon my profile, SAT can also act as a great profile builder. So I should definitely write the SAT simply because universities might be test agnostic right now. They might consider it, might not consider it, but they are not test blind. So अगर आप SAT लिखेंगे, आपको definitely value मिलेगा. So if there are two students, Sagar, me and Soumya has written the SAT. I have not. Believe you me, university will pick Soumya and not me.
Great. Thank you so much for that answer. Divya, I believe you have a couple of questions as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for an insightful and informative session. And you are super, super energetic that we can see in your presentation here. There is another question from Ms. Neha Bajaj from the audience. She's asking, how do we go about SAT prep? I have never had tuitions for all my subjects in my life, so I wouldn't need it for SET either. Is she right or is she wrong?
Which is okay, which is fine. If I think she is partly right, partly incorrect. If the child can think and believes that the child can pull off the SAT by himself or herself, they can very well go and prepare for SAT by themselves. Not a problem. Absolutely not a problem. My only take is, why do people think tuitions as help? As something that that will label me that I am not good enough. Tuitions are not supposed to label you that you are not good enough. Everybody needs a coach. You might need a coach for cricket. That's also a tuition for cricket. Do you think Tendulkar needed a coach like Ramakant Achrekar and Tendulkar was not good enough? Because that's a tuition for cricket. Right? So what I want to understand is, we don't have to label ourselves as good, bad or ugly if we take coaching. Coaching is supposed to do two things for you. As a child, you are supposed to do two things. A, you have to study, you have to find something to study. So what should you study is what you have to find. And then B, you have to study it. If you outsource the headache, at least there is somebody finding out what to study. You are only supposed to put the effort. So if that is true, it even applies for IIT. Now, IIT preparation, the data is that one student out of 10,000 gets into an IIT. Why do we send our kid to an IIT prep then? 10,000 में से एक, which is 0.001%, right? But we are very happily putting lakhs, 4 to 5 lakhs in IIT prep. And we are not happy to put those 70, 80,000 in SAT prep, right? So people have to stop being hypocritical about this, right? So if the child feels that she or he can pull it himself or herself, I am with the child. But then going to a good coach or taking a coaching is not labeling anybody being good, bad or ugly. It is just helping your effort. Like I said, reduce the effort, produce more result, right? And time is more precious than money. right? I would like to take one question here. Neha says, good evening, sir. My son is in 8th standard and very creative by nature and sensitive too. He starts new things very excitedly, but loses interest in between. What can we do? Neha, this answer is for you. Your child starts something very excitedly, doesn't continue it. That's what a child is. Child is supposed to do that. He's a child. Come on. He's supposed to do that. My question is, let's say your child is creative and child wants to do painting. Do you paint with your child? Do you draw the same thing? Do you sit with the child and explore his interest with him? Maybe he just needs company. Maybe when he is drawing a peacock and you are drawing a peacock and his peacock looks more beautiful, your child will say, Mama, I drew much better than you. Right? And that's what will give child the confidence. Me and my wife go to all classes of my child. I don't enjoy playing piano. My child started learning piano. He's into guitar and he's into drums already, right? He started learning piano. And every day, 10 minutes, I sit with my child and learn piano from him. And those 10 minutes, my child feel that I am learning piano with him and he is not learning alone. So if your child is losing interest, for God's sake, Neha, let's accept the blame. There is no use of blaming the child. We are the parents. If we start exploring the interest with the child will never leave one thing and go on to the other. We just need to make the child feel that he or she is better than us. So you intentionally make a crow when he's asking you to draw a peacock and he draws a peacock and your child will be happy and will not give it up. I hope I have answered that question. Next question, please.
Okay, I've been going through the chat as well, and I have to pick up this question. This question is from Bhavna because I think, Abhishek, this is something that you would be able to put some light on really well. She says, sir, my question to you is that passion is a feeling and feelings change. We many a times have not one but multiple passions. Do you think that it is necessary to follow a single track throughout life for a single career, or is it okay to take up one or more passions?
No. And oh no, it is not necessary to follow a single track. It is not. That's a thinking of the past. What was the name of the girl?
Bhavna.
Bhavna. Bhavna, it is definitely not important. Yes, feelings change, passions don't. That's why you call it a passion.
Awesome,
Right?
awesome. Thanks a lot.
That's right. So, Sagar, I'd like to tell something here. You know, national education policy, the new education policy, Sagar, focuses on interdisciplinary approach. This is for the people like Bhavna, right? It tells the people that going forward, a child will be able to study physics with history. It tells people that going forward, a child will be able to study physics with psychology. It tells people that going forward, a child will be able to study biology with computers. That's called doing multiple things at a time. And that's what liberal education is all about. And the reason why I brought these three universities, you know, Huron is a great liberal arts university. Flame in India is a super awesome liberal arts university, right? Kriya is a super awesome liberal arts university. I'm bringing Kriya for High School Mom Sagar on 23rd of this month as well. And that's why I'm asking all the parents who are attending this event, they're still hovering around 600, right? Way more than my expectations. That be there on High School Mom. Some crazy events are lined up for you, which Divya and her team is bringing. And I'm going to host them. I'm not going to talk on those days. The people will talk. I don't want you to listen to me, right? But interdisciplinary approach. The three universities tomorrow, Bhavna, will tell you how you can combine multiple subjects, study multiple subjects together, and go to about 2-3 different careers. Very important. Also, what you need to understand, Bhavna, and you have hit the nail. Research says people like me have changed, or people like your parents have changed 5 jobs. Okay? But your and my kid, okay, he's 13, he will change 5 careers. You are not millennials, you are centennials. Your Instagram attention span is 1 minute. Instagram, Sagar, Divya, this is important, huh? उन्होंने अपने वीडियोस की लेंथ 1 मिनट कर दी है. उनको पता है कि आजकल के बच्चे 30 सेकंड के अंदर डिसाइड कर लेंगे देखना है कि नहीं देखना. Otherwise 1 minute and more, it will go on IGTV. right? So this is that generation which will not do 5 jobs. They will pick up 5 careers. And that is why interdisciplinary liberal education is for the future. My worry is people take liberal education and liberal arts, which are 2 different things altogether. Tomorrow there is a career on liberal arts and sciences. So it's for commerce, sciences, and humanities. If I have answered your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amazing. Okay.
Just to add on that, just a reminder for it, for all the viewers, we have this session happening tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Those who have not yet registered, kindly registered on the link, which will be shared in the chat box right away.
And Sagar, if you can ask your team, if there is anybody who's interested to reaching out to me, they can stop writing emails. I have given an easier way. They can fill up that Google form that they have. If they want to reach out to me, or if they want to reach out to Vivek, a very good friend of mine joined in. For people who have joined in late, Vivek Bhandari joined in from Luxembourg. He is the CEO of Scholarly. He helps you reduce your college fees if you want to go abroad. So if you want to reach out to me for the career counseling, for SAT, or any questions that you have, even if you do not want to take career counseling from me, I'm fine. I have loads of students already. It's not going to make a difference. But you can definitely fill that form, and we can make the right people reach out to you. If you can make that form available in the chat, Sagar, along with
absolutely, the form is available in the chat. Yes, people who are still attending, who are still with us, thanks a lot. And you can just fill out that form, and we will definitely get back to you with the relevant information that you are
take one more
looking
question,
for.
sir.
Yes, we'll take one more question. Now, this is from Akanksha. She says, "Is career counseling important for career planning? How do we know who a good career counselor would be, and how would he or she be able to help my daughter in her career?"
Okay, couple of things, Sagar, and I'm a big, strong believer of this factor. One, if you are an eagle, you will be able to find other eagles. I'll give you my example, Sagar. Me and when I was growing up, we were 4 friends. One of them is a CEO of a multinational right now. The other one is sitting in front of you, who is, and I humbly, with folded hands, I only thank people who are like you, who are listening to me, who have made me India's best career counselor. Times of India gave me a Times Education Award. I appreciate that. But that's not what drives me. My drive is when I meet a new child every now and then. So one is a CEO of a multinational. The other is India's best career counselor. The third has been rated by Forbes under 30, one of the finest and the most successful fashion entrepreneurs in Hong Kong. And fourth is the fastest pianist in the world, a Guinness Book record holder. It's no joke that 4 best friends are in the best of their fields and they are number 1. That's simply because an eagle will be able to find other eagles. The only thing is, when we start judging people by money, when we start saying that this career counselor is expensive and that is cheap, you should also look back and say, there must be some reason why this career counselor is expensive. Why are others going to him? Second, a career counselor who is just gray hair, Sagar, I don't know. I won't go to a person like that. I'll definitely not send my kid to that, because it's about future. It's not about past glory. I want to send my child to somebody who understands future careers. So if your school counselor, and some of the school counselors I know, Prasija, Janvi, Nagma, they are such good friends of mine, Kshitija, they're working in the best of the schools. They are phenomenal counselors. Go to them. Find out a counselor around you who can motivate you, who is not jealous of you, and who is not misguiding you, and you will be able to cite that. An eagle is able to cite an eagle, Sagar. Very simple.
Absolutely. Amazing. Now, so do we have time for one more question?
If it's a career related question, I'll be more than happy. We haven't taken, I'm going through the chat to see if there is any career related question for me.
There are a lot. So this one is actually this comes from Nitin Sharma. He's saying, how can we get in touch with you for career counseling? What's the process, and how long does career counseling take?
Generally, it will take about a week, Sagar. Like I said, that's my eagle strategy. A week for identifying the right career. You have to be patient. How they can get in touch with me? You can possibly send them the Google link again. Number I can definitely repeat, 9910225520. It's not my number. My email ID is mail@abhishek.coach. I don't handle my email. I get about 1,100 emails every day, Sagar. I can't handle my email. There's a team that handles my email, and there is a team that handles this phone number. They can definitely reach out. Otherwise, that Google form is there. Very repetitive question. Might as well be spend time in taking some career-related questions. I have one from Zahida Khader. Zahida says, my child is interested to get into LLM and also interested in psychology. Zahida, here is the answer. Psychology is the field for the future. Again, I'm going to make a repetitive statement. I've said it a zillion times, and I'm going to take the risk of you telling me if you've heard me before. ये तो हर बार एक ही चीज बोलता है. Sun always rises from the east, Zahida. I can't start saying that it rises from the west. Psychology is the field for the future. धीरे धीरे हम सब पागल हो रहे हैं, and we need to understand that. So if your child is interested in psychology, leave everything behind. Make your child study psychology and maybe international relations. Why just law? Maybe international relations. Psychology plus international relations can get your child into political analytics. These are big time jobs. Psychology with computer science can get your child into AI, artificial intelligence. Psychology with economics can make your child get into consumer behavior. Psychology plus business management can get your child into HR. Psychology is the field for the future. And most of the universities, if your child is in grade 9 or 10, Zaida, you didn't tell me that, will provide liberal education where your child can study psychology with something else. Please, please allow your child to study psychology. It is very important. Any other questions, Sagar?
Awesome. I think from my end, that's it. I mean, we still have about 300 odd questions in the chat, but I don't think it's physically possible for us to take up all the questions.
Some of them possibly can be answered by my team. They can definitely write in.
Absolutely, yes. So we go through the questions post the webinar, and our team will be getting back to people because we do have their names and their email addresses.
Right. And,
so,
and I have another meeting. I have another meeting. With the university abroad because it's morning there. So I'll also have to take your leave. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to me. Thank you, Divya, for having me. Thank you, Sagar, for having me. Thank you, Vivek, for joining in on a short notice and explaining how tuition credits can bring down the cost of education for everybody, and they can still dream about sending their children abroad. Thank you so very much. Sagar, once again, I invite on behalf of high school moms and every mother, there are 14,000 mothers in that group, Divya, you've told me. I invite all the parents to be there tomorrow for the webinar. It's going to be one hell of a session where I will ensure that we take up questions around careers and courses. Today it was about the strategy, the eagle strategy. One last time, eagles are meant to fly high. Be an eagle. Do not be a chicken. Be an eagle. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you so much for being a part of our evening today and helping people understand how well it is. Now, before we wrap up this session, guys, we still just stay for a second because we still have a couple of things to go through.
Am I getting the Google Home Mini, please?
Yes, actually, I was hoping you would, because we all know who the winner is. I was hoping you were the one going to be who will announce the winner.
So if you can pick up a name, Sagar. Okay, let me just see. A good question in the chat. A good question in the chat. Okay. Just one sec. My chat has gone behind my screen. Just one sec. Okay. So there is this question. Okay. This is very, very usual question. This is also very usual. This is again very usual. Who should we pick? Who should we pick? Okay. So many questions, Sagar. Just give me a couple of minutes. Let me read through some questions. Okay.
So while we go through that, while Abhishek takes a minute, everyone just take a quick second. We are starting our welcome series as of tomorrow. It's designed to run from August 16th, which is tomorrow, all the way till the end of November. I'm just going to quickly share my screen and show you. This is the schedule for the webinar series. You can just take a quick picture. We will be in touch with you to keep you updated as and when our webinars happen. Trust me, we are bringing international universities from around the world. You can already see the destinations, and it's going to be truly amazing. You will get to ask all of the questions you have about studying in any of these places to these universities directly. And it's going to be absolutely amazing.
All right, Sagar, I have Snigdha from Visakhapatnam, and she is a 9th standard kid, Sagar. She is asking, sir, I am in 9th standard. You talked about passion. I am unsure about my ability. How can passion and ability match, and how can I find the right career? Snigdha, you've asked a very important question, and beta, from a 9th standard kid, I was not expecting such huge and heavy words like passion and aptitude. I will definitely, Snigdha, my request is my email ID is mail@abhishek.coach. This is Snigdha only for you. My email ID is mail@abhishek.coach. If you're listening to me, drop me an email. I will answer that question for you. If required, I'll come on a personal call and talk to you, and I'll explain to you without any charges to you how you can match your passion as well as an aptitude and come to a great career. And I'll do that for you free of cost, Snigdha. That's a gesture from my side. And Sagar, if you can give the Google Home Mini to her, I'll be more than happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll absolutely do that.
Congratulations, Snigdha.
Congratulations, Snigdha. We will shortly be getting in touch with you.
Just send it on the email. These people will actually send you your Google Home Mini. Thank you. Thank you, Sagar. Good to have you. Good to be with you. And thank you, everybody. It was awesome talking to you. And thank you, Nick. Good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, so much and we're still, above, way above 400 at 8:30 at night on Independence Day. It just shows how much people are willing to understand, work with us, and listen to what we have to offer. So thank you, everyone. And remember to register for the event happening tomorrow. It starts at 11:30 a.m. All of the people who we weren't able to address, we will get back to your questions. We have your email addresses. You've shared those with us. We will be getting in touch with you. And till next time, thank you. Stay safe and see you soon.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Good night.